Shout out Herb Tech.
DM him for your own custom video.
So this is just another aspect of it, right? And when people say, well, he's a bishop, where is his church? 950 West Alondra or 808 West Greer in Texas, 1801 Oak Street in Michigan. So um, serving as an archbishop, going into the prisons, death row, talking to brothers that have lost their lives and let them know that it's okay because there's something that you can say or do that can change and save someone else's life. I remember the movie Crash when people lose their um, mentality, they lose that essence of what makes us who we are. I've looked in the eyes of some of my homeboys that have murdered people, and in the passion which they did it, they meant it. But now, when they see the grief of the mother or that kid, that the child of that kid, that humanity, you know, they realize this is not what I'm born to do, right? And so it's important for me to help the city of Compton, people that I grew up with, people that I love, right, express themselves and say, okay, we can do this. We can lead a community and it can be a lawful community, right? And what I'm bringing to the city is law and order. There got to be rules. There's rules in prison. There's rules in the army. There's rules everywhere. And it's kind of funny how when it comes to us, they want us to say there's no rules. You know, we got homeboys that you would think that um, there's no rules of engagement, right? The only thing is that we have like a den of thieves in the city that is stealing and robbing. I'm talking about millions of dollars. And you keep hearing these people come up to about, we found money, we're going to do this. How do you find money? Either you have a bank account or bank accounts and you know what's in them. How do you find money? I don't understand. I never have understood that. The same way that well, we lost this amount of money. How'd you lose it? How could you? Oh, 350 million of homeless funds are missing. They ain't missing. You stole it. And God told me to tell you, you're going to jail. That's where faith is going. My faith is that God going to treat you good and going to send you some zim wham whams, and you're going to run into some people from Compton. They're going to have love for you. They're going to be like, yeah, what's up? We know you stole that money, but we good for you. We got a little fish kit for you. You know, hope you buried some of that money. What's up with you though?
So how local businesses can grow under your leadership?
My people that work in the office are going to stop stealing. They're going to stop stealing or they're going to jail. So we're going to give that money that they're supposed to give to local businesses to local business. We're going to let the Chamber of Commerce be a real Chamber of Commerce, right? I don't know how you feel about this, bro, because I've been watching you and I've been watching how things go. No matter what happened in your life, my condolences for your tragedies, but you're still standing. You're standing on business, and you're here. The people come, they open up. I see the shutters when they go up. I'm driving by, I see the shutters when they're down, right? On a couple of occasions, I had to drive over the sidewalk here to intervene with, when your staff was trying to tell somebody that they couldn't do something they were supposed to do. And I said, listen, you ain't gonna talk to her like that. You can go in back in there. I'm a bishop, but I ain't always been saved. Say it again. Right?
Bishop, but you ain't always been saved.
I'm a bishop, but I ain't always been saved. And I put hands and feet on you if I have to do that, right? And so he was saying that this he don't have to leave. I said, "Oh, you gonna leave today?" I told him, just go in there and lock up the car. Go ahead and go. I handle this. The businesses here should not have to compete with somebody that just set up shop and they're gonna sell stuff when you have to pay license, your lease, your employees, insurance, all of these things you have to pay while you're trying to sell your merchandise. They come, they have no overhead, and they're selling cheaper than you. I'm gonna take all of that. It's going in the trash. Or we're gonna take and donate it to some people because they're not gonna come and compete with the businesses that are businesses here. And that's why you don't see the street vendors like you used to. I was the chairman of the public safety, and I said, absolutely not. Take the cart, take the mayonnaise, take the corn, take the cucumbers, everything. Take it. Because if without a health permit, it shouldn't be out here. The businesses that are brick and mortar that have invested their money and their time, we have to applaud them and we have to help them. And that's what the city is going to do. The city is going to continue to support the businesses who are paying taxes to the city and employing people. And if you're not employing people and you're just self-owned, that's the same. You're not out there panhandling. You're not out there stealing Cadillac converters. It's important that we support you. Your city should not work against you and hit you with fines and hit you with, you can't put this sign up this way. You can't put this sign on the sidewalk, but these people can set up a whole business out there. Isn't that something? That's why Bledsoe left. Yeah. They told him he couldn't have a sign in the medium, but you got people selling all around him with no license. So now he's on shows making a whole bunch of money, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, he's from Compton." Yeah, he got a story. You better not mess with him because he'll tell you why he left. You know what I mean? So we're going to lift those businesses up. There are businesses that are here that are mom and pop, right? And then you got businesses that are here that are dirty uncle and crazy auntie, right? And they may deserve to be in business, but there's an etiquette. And we have a college over here. And we have an entrepreneurship academy where I'm at that we can teach you, listen, just because you know how to make a nice hamburger, right? Or you know how to make clothes, don't mean that you have a good etiquette for customer service. So let's teach you what's necessary and let the city help you to galvanize not just your business, but the customer interaction. And we got to start at home now. The city got to start at home because our customer service in many of the departments in the city is terrible. And they're either going to get right or there's going to be some openings for people to come to work.
They get right or get left.
Hey, listen, we work for the you. It's not in the reverse, right? There's nothing I can do with that Compton card that says mayor, right? You go to a Morton's, you go to any restaurant, and you say, I don't have reservations, but here's my card. I'm from Compton. They go say, thank you. Hold on 1 second. 911. I got a crazy man here thinking he's going to get a table at 6:30. He told me he's the mayor of Compton. Well, this is Beverly Hills. We don't want him here. Come get him, right? So it's important for me to be a mayor of the people. That's what we call it, Team Compton, right? Be out there in the streets, working with the people, seeing how we can fix what need to be fixed in our community. Not just be a lip service and say, I want to be reelected. I'm not running for a reelection. I'm only going to run one term. I'm only willing to give 4 years of my life to try to fix it. And with the help of the community, we can fix it. It's broke, but we got some super glue. We got some tape. Huh?
I like it. What are your plans for homelessness in the city?
Wow. So I can only be honest with you, right? Here's my platform. You won't see homeless on the platform. We don't have a homeless problem in Compton. Okay, and the people that they, 2 or 3 people that they bringing over here is because they built a place for them, which took away money that we were making on the bed tax of the motel. Okay, Compton is not the name that come up when you homeless and you go, oh, I'm gonna go to Compton and be homeless. No, it's not where you are, right? And if somebody was put out of their house, he did something. Most of the people from Compton that are homeless, they go to downtown LA because they're ashamed. They don't want certain people to see them that they didn't been so smart, or they have a drug addiction, right? I believe in working for what you want. You have to get up and go to work. Everybody else, we have to get up and go to work. So my plan for the homeless is for me not to be homeless, first of all, and me to stop this tax that they're putting on people's houses, because that is the biggest contributor to our Black mothers, aunties, grandmothers becoming homeless, right? Is the high taxes. You want to care about somebody that you don't know, but you're not willing to care about the people that you know. So my plan for homeless is to stop paying $40 million a year on property taxes that's making people homeless. That's my plan. And as far as the other council members in the district, they can come to me. I'll have one vote. You have 4 council persons for each district. If they have a problem with homeless, and I've lived in Compton my whole life, we can discuss it. But I can tell you this, my energy is not going to be spent on the homeless, low income, no income, lazy. Dude, we have people here that are one book away from having their master's degree. We got people that are homeless that the county just told them that they're going to be kicking them out of the parking lots, right? That are going to college at Compton College, over at Dominguez Hill College. They have a parking lot where they have a urinal station, and they have a security guard, so that they're sleeping in their cars. That's the people I want to help. Okay, I don't want to help somebody or spend money trying to assist somebody who made their problem and they're not willing to get. They have a mental psychosis. They have, even if you put them in a home, they're going to walk out of it because they have a psychosis. Ronald Reagan kicked all of those mentally people out of Norwalk and went across the state doing it. There's a big difference between being homeless and being mentally ill. We need to put a facility together and put them in those that cannot take care of themselves. It's called the California Care Act. It's already initiated. Compton Court is already pushing people that way. We have Augustus Hawkins right there in Watts. That can help them. If you're lazy and you're hanging out in front of a freeway 6 hours with a bucket, you're not homeless to me. You're making money off of the empathy that the people have. So I'm going to digress because I get very angry when people start asking me about me helping somebody that is there by choice. And then we have people that have worked their whole lives, and just because their husband died, they're going to become homeless because they can't pay their taxes. Yeah, so my plan is to help them. That's my plan, and get somebody else to do something about the other one. They didn't scam enough money for using homeless as a way. They got $800 million that they can't find for homeless money. And these organizations that you have to go to if you're homeless, you got to go to this organization, and they're gonna help you get your mind together, the paperwork together, and then they're gonna kick you out of the program. They're gonna put somebody else in the program, but they're gonna get $100,000 each time they do this. No, I'm not with that. No, I'm not with that. They would be homeless. If I had a choice, I'd vote for all the people that took money to help the homeless people that did not help the homeless people. They need to be homeless. Let's help the people stay in their homes. Let's help those students graduate. Let's get them a house. Them students that have made it up in their mind that they don't want to be like their mother and their grandmother or their daddy, and they're sleeping in their cars and they're going to work, and they just ask for a safe place to sleep. And the county said, "Oh, we can't help y'all no more. We're gonna cut the funding for it." Didn't put it in the budget. And all these people that love illegal immigrants and love people out here selling stuff all that. They love, you got to help them. What about those students? What about those kids that are 18 years old that are being kicked out of foster care without a place to stay, with a small check in a backpack? What about them? That's who I want to help. Let everybody help its own. And if that's mean, I'm mean. Let everybody help its own. If that's your people, if God put it on your heart to help the homeless people, go help them. I'm gonna help these students over here that's trying to get an education and that's working 2 jobs. And they have to park their car in a parking lot. Yeah.
So how do you plan to support families that struggling financially?
So it's not the mayor's job to do that, but what I'm going to do is tell them maybe somebody in a household need to go over here to this college or come over to the Entrepreneur Academy to find out how to make the same bread that you make, right? If you're struggling, you got to hustle. And if your hustle is not making no money, then you're either a poor hustler or you want to be playing your game and smoking your weed. And I don't have nothing against that. But it ain't a family, because somebody in that family know that we hungry. You hear my stomach growling, right? So you got to get up and you need to go. We have the resources in this community to be truck driver, to go down here to the longshoreman school. We have tons of unions that you can get hired with. I'm going to help them by making available an opportunity for them to either start their own business. No pun intended. If you are a worker bee and that's what you want to do, then go do that. We're going to make that available to you. But to me, priorities start at home. And these big grown men who are sitting in these people's houses, whether it be baby mama, whether it be mama, right? And you riding a bike around playing Debo, right? If that's what they want, I'm not going to try to change that. I'm not spending my life or my 4 years trying to convince somebody that he shouldn't be dumb. And if she likes that, then she dumb too. And I think that they can be dumb together. And I just feel bad for the kids that they're gonna have. And if those kids decide they don't want to be like them, then I'm willing to teach them how to become a multimillionaire. Because we're gonna make 12 multimillionaires every year that I'm in office. Because we're not gonna get these grants and the money to these people that's been getting them. They already know. Vote for her, because he ain't gonna help me. Because you've been helping yourself. I want to see individuals like you be able to catapult. We've had 3 different people to put Compton on a center field at the time that you have the Super Bowl. How many t-shirts, how many hats, how many jackets could Compton have sold if it was a collective working with the city and the businesses? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my idea is to take the brand and make so much money that it's raining on the people who deserve it. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. There's people that want to claim Compton. There's people that, they say what they say about Compton. It's the culture. And we lived in it. And we survived it, which is what makes it valuable. If we were a bunch of punks and sissies, then it would be no reason to talk about us. Compton is strong. It's always been strong. We love people. We have passion and big hearts. But if you do us wrong or you do something to us, there's a price to pay for it. And I think that if we started to monetize the culture, instead of letting people come in and use it for 15, 20 minutes, right? And then run away, go make the money, right? We have to look and focus on the businesses and say, okay, what is it that this business needs to take it to the next level? And do everything that we can, everything that's possible in order for us to do that. That's how we do it.
So what programs would you bring to help keep kids away from gangs and violence?
Nothing. I'm going to offer something to students and kids to let them make a choice. I think that it's the gangs themselves that have to tell their stories and tell kids, I did this. I had 8 of them at my facility yesterday who have children. One has grandchildren. He can do more for that culture. I've never been a gangbanger. As I told him when I was the responsible liaison for the city of Compton with the gang initiative. So I was the representative from the city. And the gang intervention was able to have different people from different gangs. And we came together, and for 2 years, we were able to try to de-escalate anything that was going on. And at one point I decided that I'm done, because you can't stop, we call them the youngsters, damn near YGs now, from doing things, right? And I saw some of them get killed trying to talk to the youngsters. The youngsters say, no, you old, you retired, boom, we're gonna handle this. This is how we're gonna put in work. So it's a culture. And my cousin, whose son got shot 122 times right down the street on Mayo, right? There's nothing that you can tell a person. And when we had the funeral, and I spoke to the family, my family, and I told them, I know what you may be thinking, because I know my cousin. If he goes out and he revenge his son's death, they got loved ones too. And ain't nobody untouchable. And I told his little homeboys, don't do nothing on behalf of our family. If you're going to do something, understand that you're not doing it on behalf of our family. My little cousin is gone. And if he wasn't with y'all, he may not be dead. But that's what his choice was, because God gave everybody a choice. We have to lead by example. Some things are not my job. I know my lane. If people who have served in that lane think that it is a great thing for their son to do, and they teach their son at 2 or 3 how to hit it up, how to do the walk. That's what you want. My son has a degree. My son lives out of the country. My daughter has a degree. My daughter lives out of the country. I didn't want my daughter being a prostitute down Long Beach Boulevard. I didn't want my son being a gangbanger down here. My son couldn't tell you where the difference between Greenleaf and Long Beach Boulevard. He couldn't tell you where they meet. If we're going to help the young people, we need that culture that's responsible for those actions to step up and do their job. They might listen to you, but it's not my job to even try to go over there and talk to them. I'll take the engineer. I'll take the young man that knows how to do math backwards in his sleep. I'll take that young man and put him in a helicopter or put him in a plane. I'll take the ones that want to do something different. It's not my job to try to convince somebody that lifestyle is not a good lifestyle if that's what they want. You might have 4 generations of that. But I'm going to tell you one thing, when one wake up and say, you know what, I want to do something else. I see these kids flying. I want to go fly. I got them. This kid that owns a business, he's a multimillionaire. I seen him on the billboards. I got him. Come on. So leading by example and helping some of those dudes that made the wrong mistakes in their life, bring them to the forefront and let them tell their stories. Give them a platform. Give them a job. Give them an opportunity to do the work to fix what they broke.
So what changes would you like to see in law enforcement and community relations?
So You heard me say this earlier about go to jail. If you're a law enforcement officer and you break the law, I want you to go to jail. I don't want you just to get fired. I want you to go to jail. You humiliate people and you sit in court and lie, and you in a gang, you're going to jail. And I think that when people see that we're not playing, then they're going to realize and understand that there's a respect that they're going to have when they come to your car. You're their boss. You're the taxpayer. There's a difference between Miss Wilson and Betty Jean. And what is that difference? Betty Jean dead. Miss Wilson's still alive. Respect her. And that's what my mom used to say. I got that from my mom. Respect me until I die. We need to teach law enforcement to respect this community. But if they don't have any respect for the leaders of this community, because most of them have been indicted or getting ready to go to jail, they just, drive through. I'm running through Compton. Then they can put on their resume, I worked in Compton for 3 years, and go anywhere in the world. But we're going to hold them accountable. You gang banging in the police uniform, you're going to jail. Right? You get caught doing some stuff you're not supposed to do, you're going to jail. And if it continues, all y'all can get out of this community. So it comes to a place where you just have to say, bro, you're not going to pay anybody to be disrespectful to you or be brutalizing your kids and running their car into the back of their bike. I see the little guys on a little moped, a little what do you call those little things? Mini bikes. We did that, right? Until we burn all our heel off trying to stop it, right? Of course, we were smart enough to go on Greenleaf, where you could, if it gets too hot, you can just go up into the green patch and slow it down. But we had to tell them, look, man, the worst thing that you can do is hit one of them kids on that down mini bike, right? It's frustrating for the cars. And I've talked to the kids when I've seen them, in their stop. I said, look, do yourself a favor. Don't go on the main streets where there's a lot of cars. People are already upset. They hit people on motorcycles, right? And when you come up that fast it scared them. And now all they have is this big car that if they hit the gas, you're dead. But by no means does that mean that we want a sheriff to come and try to pit maneuver and stop them from riding a little motorbike. Follow them home or follow them wherever until they run out of gas. Just like a lawnmower, it only has so much gas in it. It's going to stop. Follow them until it stops. Not that close behind them, but close enough behind them that you can get it. And then when it runs out of gas, you're going to get off of them running. You can pick it up, put it in your trunk, or call a truck to come get it and just take it. But if you hit them with that car, I'm putting your ass in jail. You don't do it in no other communities. So that's going to be the basis of my communication is to say, look, everything that you need to do is be lawful. The same way that you sit there when them kids came from Palo Alto or somewhere and they was doing the street takeovers. And you sat there and you watched them tear up our streets and tear up the telephone pole and you didn't do nothing. When we get the video, these are little white kids from Oxnard. These are Malibu most wanted, right? And I'm like, that's why you didn't arrest them. That's why you didn't do nothing. Any other time something goes on like that, you got your pepper spray out, you're spraying the crowds, you're doing all this other stuff. They didn't tow down a whole telephone pole. And I swear I heard wee a couple times. I don't know. I heard wee. I think I heard a couple wiggies in there. No, but I'm just being real. I like equal applied justice. If you're going to arrest this person over here, arrest everybody that comes through, right? If you're going to let this go, the total lawlessness, there's no difference to me. This little guy on this mini bike weaving through traffic, than this guy that didn't block the whole street doing donuts. And if we're going to arrest him, arrest him. Simple as that.
What message do you have for people who feel unheard by local government?
Join the club. Team Compton hears you. And some of you don't realize that you have gadflies that come to every city council meeting including the one they're going to have today, and they tell folks that they represent you, that's not a good look. You're being heard when you go to the voting polls. The person that you vote for is your representative. If you don't have no accessibility to that representative, and that representative, when they get elected, don't incorporate your passions, your desires, and your needs into their campaign, or they lie about it. When you go back to the voting booth, you let them know. Other than that, Compton is one of the rare cities that have a council meeting every single Tuesday. When I'm mayor, I'm going to try to change that, because it's not that much business to take care of when you say that you don't have no money. But if you feel like you're not being heard, then maybe you need to talk a little louder. And if you know what you're talking about, even if it's a neighbor, somebody's going to hear you and agree. Now it's two. And if you do the research and you organize and you put it on a platform, now you have three or more. So if you don't feel like you're being heard, come on over to Team Compton. We'll listen to you for a minute, because I don't have a whole bunch of patience these days. But I think that you will find that most of the issues that matter the most, we're addressing those issues. And I can't do everything. In fact, I can't do anything without the help of the constituents. But together, we're going to change the most important things first. And like I was telling you, Bone, we don't even have a hospital in Compton. We have an aging community. And most of the seniors that own their homes, they try to get in the house before 6 o'clock. Did you know that? They really try to get in the house before 6 o'clock and lock their screen doors. You know, everywhere you look now, you see bars on the windows and stuff, like in the 70s. At one point, people start taking the bars off their house. I remember.